Earlier this year, the Queen announced that Meghan and Harry would not be returning as working royals, removing a series of royal patronages in the process. While they can no longer represent the Queen and the Crown with royal duties and visits and return their royal and military patronages, they have retained their full titles. Since their departure from the firm in 2020, some have repeatedly called for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex to lose their titles. A source close to the former Suits actress told Heat magazine that Meghan is worried about losing the Duchess title after Harry's recent revelations about his family. After stepping down as a senior member of the royal family, Meghan Markle is said to be determined to retain her title as the Duchess of Sussex. She has continued to style herself as the Duchess of Sussex on all platforms, including her recent children's book. She's told Harry that they need to tone down the attacks on the royal family. She's afraid they'll take away their royal titles, which would be a PR disaster. The reports come after Harry criticized Charles' parenting and took aim at the firm, accusing them of attempting to smear his wife in a new interview with Oprah, as part of a mental health series. The interview was watched by millions. However, any further moves by Her Majesty could actually strengthen the departed couple, according to royal expert Daniela Elser. She added, even if Harry and Meghan were no longer in a position to use their Sussex titles, they still have his princely status to fall back on. He will at all times be Prince Henry of Wales formally. After moving to the US, Meghan and Harry landed landmark deals with Spotify and Netflix. Since their bombshell with Oprah Winfrey, Harry has also made a series of other allegations about growing up in the royal family. Last month, royal expert Lady Colin Campbell said he was too big for his royal title. She launching an online petition calling on Prince Harry to voluntarily ask the Queen to put his royal style, titles and rank into abeyance, meaning they would go into a state of temporary disuse or suspension. At the time of publication, it has greater than 40,000 people have since signed petition. Given all of the latest revelations from the royal couple about suicidal ideas, surprising racism, negligent parenting and royal bullying, Lady Colin's politicking isn't significantly incendiary. But she believes Harry and Meghan would still be able to sell their brand without the royal titles. Losing his titles would not damage Prince Harry's post-Megxit life and work, Lady C argued, as she believes he is big enough as a brand. He does not need to be called a duke, and would simply make it clear he is speaking and acting as an individual rather than a member of the royal family. Lady C added, it is the best solution because it frees Harry to be able to indulge himself without consequence and without doing damage to the institution of the monarchy of the British nation, the British people and himself. In lower than a year, they inked an estimated $180 million value of offers with Netflix and Spotify alone, signed on with A-list audio system bureau Harry Walker Agency. The Duchess has written an e-book, and the Duke has executed the beforehand unthinkable and gone and gotten a job as Chief Impact Officer at a billion-dollar Silicon Valley startup. With every successive business announcement, the vexing question over titles has continued to bubble away, a state of affairs that was solely magnified within the wake of their March TV interview with Oprah Winfrey. It is in the power of Queen Elizabeth to bestow titles on members of the royal family, especially on special occasions such as weddings. Prince William and then Kate Middleton were named Duke and Duchess of Cambridge in April 2011, and Prince Harry and then Meghan Markle were named Duke and Duchess of Sussex in May 2018. Weeks after Megxit was first announced in January 2020, Buckingham Palace issued a statement confirming that Harry and Meghan would step back from official royal duties and no longer use the titles His Royal Highness and Her Royal Highness, but they would continue to use the titles of Duke and Duchess of Sussex. The Queen has reportedly signed off an exhibition at Windsor Castle that will celebrate the late Duke of Edinburgh's life. According to The Sun, the 95-year-old monarch has agreed to release treasured artifacts for the display that will chart their wedding as well as her late husband's naval career, charity work and his love of carriage driving. The exhibition, curated by the Royal Collection Trust, was originally planned to mark Prince Philip's 100th birthday on June 10. The Duke passed away at the age of 99 at Windsor Castle on April 9 and his funeral was held at St. George's Chapel 8 days later. While the Queen will not personally open the exhibition, she will reportedly be offered a private tour. Her Majesty has spent much of the past year residing at Windsor Castle during the pandemic. The Queen will have a dear family member with her as she celebrates her official birthday, Trooping the Colour, on June 12, a new report says. The Duke of Kent, Her Majesty's cousin, is to take Prince Philip's place at the Trooping of the Colour parade, according to the Mail on Sunday. Trooping the Colour will be significantly scaled down from how it is traditionally celebrated in London. It was held in a similar fashion at Windsor last year due to the coronavirus pandemic. The event was held with 20 members from the 1st Battalion Welsh Guards performing military drills on the lawn while the Queen watched on. Each soldier stood 2 meters apart from one another as per government guidelines. The Queen sat down under a marquee as she watched the ceremony from afar, much different from her usual spot with all of the royal family on the balcony at Buckingham Palace, London. Meanwhile, the Queen has a number of other engagements lined up, including meeting U.S. President Joe Biden. The White House is reportedly finalizing plans for the U.S. leader and his wife Jill to meet Her Majesty when he flies to the UK for the Group of 7 summit in Cornwall, with the visit expected to take place after the conference and before the 78-year-old president flies to Brussels, Belgium, for a NATO meeting on June 14. The UK visit will mark the first overseas trip for the president, who has been focusing on domestic issues, including the US's response to the coronavirus pandemic.